Digital Influx are a London-based EdTech company. We're offering a 12-part course for 8 to 11-year-olds to learn the basics of user experience principles and design thinking. Programs relating to STEM are important, as children should be taught how to think, not what to think. The course aims to develop their problem-solving, teamwork, and critical thinking skills, among many more. Each lesson will have short videos and games to make sure your experience is fun and memorable and fits with your own learning style. And it improves soft skills by using real-life practical examples to improve empathy. To learn more, please visit digitalinflux.com.
I think teaching UX will definitely help students and future society. One of the reasons is in current situation where we are, like in India, we teach a lot of things like physics, maths, and other subjects like science and etc. So, but the most important thing is we need to teach students and anybody is how to solve their problems on their own. If we give them that tool, right, they come up with creative ways. So we might think like UX is creative process and all the stuff, but for me it is like anybody can learn UX, because I've been teaching a lot of people since the last 1.5 years, and everybody who joined without having knowledge of UX has learned, because what we are teaching is we are teaching the process, how to solve the problem and how to find solutions, better solutions for them. And in this process they'll also learn solving their personal problem or anything. Design thinking can be used in multiple places. It's not just in specific product design or anything. You can use to you can dig into the problem. What kind of problem is it? If you look at in the different perspective, we understand the problem, then we come out with different solutions and we'll pick the best solution, may try it out if it works, and then test it if it is working. And this process can be applied everywhere. It's not just related to design itself. So I think definitely we will build a better world because people will come up with innovative and creative ideas. We are putting that thought into people, saying that you can be creative, your ideas are worth making. So that kind of confidence also we can provide to people if we teach design thinking and UX in schools. That's what I feel. And one more thing is it becomes a little bit different when it comes to just normal subjects. This is more practical kind of thing. You implement it, you try different ideas, then you will explore the side of your the children can explore the side of their creativity and come out with different ideas. That's my perspective on teaching them in school. Eventually we are building a better world. That's all I feel.
UX in schools will help in 3 ways. So first way is the environment. So it will be provide the environment in the school so that the classes of the like you can say primary the primary student classes, high school student classes, that will be designed according to their factor, their human factor. So human factor will be in physical way and maybe in the digital way. So so like their education system will improve, like we will provide the for the primary classes, we will give the information through the graphicals way, by which the student are able to relate the things, and it will not like with the legacy education system that we have. It will be different way. It will be in a vast way in education. And another way, like so when teacher will give the summer projects to the students, so they will design or deliver the project with the thinking of users empathy. I think that will help them to deliver project with the respect of uh, uh, user orientation rather than task oriented. So that initial level things from that foundation, that will help student to understand about the users rather than it is my task. So, and another third point, it will be like UX process helps in the problem solving. So this approach will help to students to provide the things in more creative way, like Tharun already mentioned. So, so these are three aspects which I feel which will definitely improve the students and our education system, and it will create the environment around us. Yeah.
Are we teaching UX to the school kids? Yes, definitely we have to teach, but the way, how do we teach it? That is the most important thing. That will make the entire spectrum very clear. For me, there are certain ideas I have in general. When it comes to you teaching UX, that is logical reasoning is the one skill we have to teach the students at every single level of our education. And particularly, the next thing is role play. How to think from the other person's shoes perspective. This we should teach it. Logical reasoning and role play, these are only two key elements when it comes to teaching UX. How do we teach it in general? There are three ways here. For example, practically, if you see, English is one of the language. It's act as a subject also in all the curriculums and syllabuses in terms of schools. So through English as a language, when the English class teacher is teaching a subject or something like that, they can do that role play in front of the students and they can inspire the students. This is how you should think from the other person's shoes perspective. Then only you can understand the other person. Its user experience is like understand the other persons, other people perspectives, and then taking a decision or doing the design solution and whatever it may be. You have to understand the other persons from their point of view. It's not from our point of view. It's from their point of view itself. We have to see the how the other person sees the overall world, and how does the other person sees the problem from their own world. That is most important. English is one of the key. Apart from that, there are two more aspects, two more ways we can able to cultivate this thought process of logical reasoning and the role play in cultural events happening in school and through games. In three areas: English, cultural events, and games. In all these three areas, we can able to cultivate and we can able to make the students to think on the logical reasoning as well as the role play perspective, so that it can become imbibe and it can become embedded into their life. It cannot be isolated or it cannot be alienated from their daily routine. When it embed into their life, automatically, naturally, it becomes into their DNA and into their culture. They will grow with this culture. That is understanding the other people, and then we have to take up any decision. This thought process should come whenever we are embedding it into the DNA and the culture of the whole. From the whatever the culture the student is following in whatever the area, wherever the region he is living, into that culture, this thinking process is also getting embedded into it. Then obviously the helping mindset will be getting improved from the childhood for a person, when the person is understanding the other person's point of view, and as well as when we are helping others, the others also will help. It will form literally a better society first of all. So when the helping mentality is more, obviously when it goes to better society in the terms like collaboration, connectivity, and communication. In all these aspects, we can see a transparent society in future. So this is the way I'm looking at it. I'm envisioning the teaching a UX into the school. This is how it should end up with this level of good vision. This is how it should move across. This is what I'm thinking.
Design UX, the methods and tools of UX should be considered as life skills more than anything else. And teaching it to the students is definitely going to help them maneuver in their life, especially in this this era of overconsumption of information, bombarding of information. If you look at what Karthik said of, uh, how do they gather information, like research, that particular tool especially, they'll learn how to question, first of all, learn to ask why. That's not taught in our Indian schools currently, and that's an extremely important thing, where students question why. why to the traditional mindsets, to the traditional ways of looking at things. So a very important tool which will make them curious. The second part of it is creating their own inferences or creating their own thoughts to certain subjects, which the ideation process or helps in doing, and visualizing and communicating their own thoughts and ways of looking at things. Extremely important to develop confidence and to sort of give a backbone to their creativity. Uh, the third process is collecting feedback. Uh, Extremely important, especially in a world where feedback is just given to you in social media. There is bullying, there's body shaming, there are various sort of things that just happen with a comment. And uh, to actually constructively, first of all, declutter and feedbacks into, okay, this seems constructive, this seems something that I shouldn't be paying too much attention to. I think all these processes would be extremely helpful for these children uh, to become into confident adults, confident, empathetic adults. And as they go into workplace, whatever, like they become politicians, doctors, pilots, or UXers, these life skills would definitely help them create a better empathetic society.
I think most of them covered most of the points that I want to talk, but I'll try giving a different answer. I think, yes, my answer is yes, a definite yes. I think we're all exposed to design in our everyday life, right? Like, the modern world has taught us much about how a well-designed a product can cause a pleasing experience, right? Can affect our happiness and productivity in some way. So I think design can play many other positive roles within society. And as a designer, uh, you can understand how things are put together. Like, you start thinking how something is put together and why things are the way they are. And a lot of that you process a lot in your mind when you are thinking in the perspective of problem solving and creativity, right? And I think in simple terms, designers are made more like resourceful for the world to consume, right? And I think the society can make use of a designer for a lot of things. And for example, say creative and problem solving skills, right, could help a differently abled person gain more, be more independent, right? Just for an example, it's just not just to cater to differently able community, but also it is a wide spectrum that design can play a role in. And I think it would be good for everybody to learn design, and especially included in schools at a very young age, and for more design education to happen in the country. And just from my perspective, I think once you're a designer, you are going to see the world very differently. Like, you're going to go into the world as like, from going into a world as a consumer, you would start going into world as seeing things as designed or designable. So I think that's how important design education is.